Hey everybody, this is Alex.
This is Washka, and this is the Fool's Odyssey podcast, episode number 4.
And in this episode, we're going to be talking about the manga Gantz by Hiroya Oku. So, Gantz is essentially divided into 3 phases, but we're only going to be talking about the first phase in this episode. Phase 1 is called Missions, and it covers chapters 1 to 237. The summary of Gantz, basically, is 2 high school kids, Kei and Kato, are killed trying to help somebody, and they suddenly find themselves in a strange room with other people in a giant black sphere. They cannot leave the room. All the windows and doors are locked and they can't open.
Everybody in that room has the same experience of that they themselves know that they already died, right?
Yeah, that's the last thing they can remember is like
Their dying moment.
Yeah, their dying moment, right? So now, from this point on, it's just going to be straight spoilers. So we're giving warning right now, the spoilers.
Yeah.
Okay, so inside the sphere is a naked man. The naked man's name is Gantz. Is decided by the people in that room, I guess.
Oh, so it's not the ball, but the naked man, eh?
Yes, the naked man. And that man is considered to be like a battery for the sphere.
By the way, has it ever been mentioned what the man is actually the ethnicity and whatever, or?
That's a bit of a spoiler. Like, we'll discuss that in the...
Oh, we'll get there later, eh? I see. Alright.
Yeah, exactly. So anyways, Gantz tells these people that they're dead and their lives are up to him how to use it. Their lives are his now. So he shows them a target, tells the people to hunt them down, and they basically have no choice but to follow his instructions. So these targets are actually like aliens that's been living on Earth. And these aliens are no joke, they're super strong.
Physically, above youths.
Yeah, they're able to just kill humans like they're ragdolls.
Like they have a biological weapon that they were born with.
Yeah, like claws or...
Claw, fangs, just super strength.
Yeah, they're ridiculously strong. So, to help these humans combat these aliens, Gantz provide people with the equipments. So the first one, of course, would be the Gantz suit. Each person gets a suitcase with their name on it, and inside the suitcase is, of course, the Gantz suit. It provides extra durability, extra strength. It just makes them able to compete with the alien on the same level. The only downside to this is that any slashing or slicing, they can't defend against that.
So imagine having an extra layer of flesh, like another layer of muscle, so it helps you do more stuff, like stronger and whatnot. But if you got cut, you'll still.
It's only good for against a physical blunt force.
Even guns, a bullet, when somebody got shot bullet, it's not a piercing thing, as in because the muscle is thick enough to actually withstand it.
So with the suit, after a while, if it takes too much damage, it begins to malfunction.
Out of juice.
Literally out of juice. They start pouring these weird liquids out of them.
Well, it's a black liquid, right? Like an oil kind of thing.
So the next weapon would be they dubbed it the X gun. Is this essentially like a handheld gun? But it's inaccurate, but it's also like the staple standard issue gun.
Yeah, and arguably one of the most effective weapons.
Another one would be the X shotgun, was essentially the same thing as the X gun, but just stronger.
And higher accuracy too.
The next weapon after that would be a Y gun, which is more of a capture gun than anything. So it's we call those ties. Bolo.
Oh, the bola hoops. Bola loops.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Bolo loops. Yeah, bolo loops.
In case none of you guys know, it's the kind of 2 rocks and a string that you throw at someone and it binds them in the spot kind of thing.
And also has this weird ability to transfer those people that's captured with those loops into the air. Now, where do they go? We don't know.
We don't know.
Oh, I forgot to mention, the X gun have a delay. So once you shoot it, it takes about 3 seconds for it to work.
Yeah, and then whatever it was aimed at, it'll just pop and explode.
And it's kind of hard to explain. I guess it's like an implosion blast. And then the final standard weapon that they have is a Gans Sword. It's a sword which basically you can actually alter the length of the sword.
Is it just the length? Can you alter, I don't know, the width, or I don't know, make it a great sword or something? I guess you don't need to, eh? It's sharp enough for anything.
And it's also probably because it's a Japanese manga, so it's more based on the... Yeah, exactly, more based on the katanas.
Because even the Americans and stuff use this katana.
Yeah. So now that we've gone through these weapons, if we were to be in the Gantz world, which one would you want to take with you?
For survival?
Mm-hmm.
I'll take the X.
X guns, eh? Not even carry the Y gun with you.
Oh, I can carry multiple? If I can carry multiple, I've got to bring like 2 of the X gun and 2 of the Y.
Oh, I see. Interesting. I think I would carry 2 swords and maybe 2 shotguns.
Oh, I'll probably carry 1 sword. Probably 1 sword just for...
Yeah, you never know.
I'll have 2 X and 1 Y. That's why.
So you basically get one of everything.
Because you don't know what you're going to come into, right?
My question is, how do the suits recharge when they get damaged?
Well, my theory is that after Gan transferred them back to their apartment place, the room thing, they rebuilt the suits too.
Oh, I see.
So it's not recharging, they just remade it.
So that leads to my next point, which is Gans provides all these weapons. Soon after, Gans will transfer these people into the area where the alien is. So Gans sets a boundary so that the hunters can't go past that area, or else their heads will explode. And when the targets are killed, Gans will transfer any of the survivors back into the room.
Right. So this is what the Gans mean by like their life is in Gans' hand.
Yeah.
Because they literally plant a bomb inside their head. Any of the participant goes against the rule, pop goes the weasel.
Right. And then as Bashka said, like as long as the hunter makes it to the end of the mission alive, any wounds such as missing limbs or any damages will be restored. So to be completely back to normal.
Even if, let's just say, at the last moment of the battle, you lose half of your body, but you're still alive, you would still come back.
So although there is the risk of losing your life, as long as you make it till the end, you'll still be safe.
You'll come out clean.
So after the mission is completed, Gantz will give these hunters a score based on their performance.
Usually it comes from the number of kills and such like that.
And they have to do it within a certain time limit too. Right. And if they don't finish the mission in time, they lose all their points. So now what these points are for is the goal is to get 100 points. And once you get to 100 points, you have 3 options. So the first one is be free and lose your memories of Gantz. So everything. So you'll be a freed man, but you lose your memory of what happened.
It's also called the graduation because you graduate 100%.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, graduation is something they say in Asia, right? It's like an Asian thing.
Yeah.
Number 2 is get a stronger weapon. And number 3 is revive someone from the dead, or Gantz Data Bank. Gantz is able to bring people back who died during the missions, kind of like a checkpoint. So they remember everything that happened prior to the deaths.
Right.
So of these 3 options, if you to get 100 points, which one would you pick?
Well, I mean, it really depends, right? Who's my teammates? Do I care enough for them? If I don't care enough for them, why would I revive them? Like that's.
Well, maybe you establish a relationship with someone and they have a good working relationship.
If they're reliable, then yeah, reviving them gives me a better chance of surviving, right?
I see.
That's the thing. But if none of them really does well, or like they don't even make a good, like, how do I say this, like a good decoy.
Yeah.
Might as well get myself a better weapon and then, make the hunt more efficient, right?
But you wouldn't even bother with number 1, be free.
Oh, hell no.
Wow. Why not?
Because I'm already dead.
But you've given a second chance at life, though.
Yeah, but by that moment, like I'm already dead, so I don't want to say that any chance that I could get by dying, I'll just die. Just that, like, oh, I could die, so let's just die again. Like, now I don't want to say that. But what I'm saying is that it really depends. If I'm just like scared shitless, then I'd probably be like, you know what, I'm done with this. But if I play long enough till I get to 100, I'm pretty sure I'm pretty comfortable with the whole thing. So.
So essentially, you're just using Gantz as a way to relive your weird fantasy of killing shit.
Pretty much. Legally killing things.
In a way, I guess. What if you died, but I bring you back? How would you feel about that?
I'd probably be pissed at you. I'd probably punch you several times. Kick you in the gut, and then, stomp on your chin or something like that. And then go home.
Why, though? I took so much effort to bring you back, though.
Well, it's a wasted effort.
Okay, how about this? If I brought you back, but then I died in the next mission, would you bring me back, or would you be like, well, that's your loss. Peace.
Well, you died. That means you're not good enough, so why would I revive you back?
But, dude, I revived you, though.
So? I didn't ask for it. You decided that you think that I'm good enough. It turns out I did. I outlived you, so...
Wow.
You're not good enough this time. Well, it depends how you die, right? If we're like working together and got shit working out very well, I'm like, okay, I mean, I could trust my back to this asshole, then I'll probably revive you. But if you're like, you died because you're being an idiot, I'm like, well, that guy deserved to die, Your life is in my hand. But here's the thing: if I revived you, would you felt a certain like a way to repay and revive me instead? Let's just say it's the other way around. I don't know what got into me and decided to revive you. and then if I die, would you feel doubted to me? Like would you? Yeah, would you be like, oh, here, revive me, so I have to revive him because it's the right thing to do? Would that cross your mind?
Yes and no. Like, yes, I would think about that, but I probably wouldn't revive you like right
Why?
away. Does that make sense? It would depend on how you died, I think. Like, if you say we're on a mission, you revived me, and then you died protecting me, then I would revive you for sure.
Not gonna happen. Not ever happen. But what if let's just say I didn't die protecting you? I was dead because I was protecting civilian. You know?
I'll be like, well, shit,
Yeah.
dude, that
I'll
sucks.
be like, shit, get the hell out of the way, kid! Just like chuck a kid across the street and got smashed by a Tangoon and turned like a bloody pulp.
If you said to revive you, then I probably would. Ooh. What if my final request wasn't to revive myself, but to revive someone else?
Do I like that someone else or no? That's the important part. If I like that someone else, I would have. Yeah, I would like. I mean.
For my dying
Yeah.
breath, I'd be like, hey Bosch, can you revive this person for me? That's my final wish. And then I die.
Why would I even spend 100 points for your wish? Like, get a life.
Wow. So my final request doesn't mean jack to you.
You're already dead before you came to Gantz. You don't have the right for a final request. I don't either. Like, I just happened to get the chance. I'm not gonna do chore to you after I died and come back to life.
Jeez. So you definitely pick number 2, no matter what. Get a stronger weapon.
Yeah, stronger weapon.
All right, so the stronger weapons are... There's only 3 that's been shown in the manga. So there's a thing called a Z gun, which works differently compared to all the other guns.
Yeah, it shoots like a gravity... Increase the gravity pull on a certain area, I guess. It kind of shows the image of an enemy getting pushed down from up, getting squished.
Instead of the blast going forward, it's like they're getting squished by an invisible building. What's it? The next thing is the hard suit, which is basically a robot suit. And then the third upgrade is the Gantz mech, which is basically you're in the hard suit and then you go inside the mech. So it's a robot within the robot.
Yeah, that's right. So, well, the hard suit's not really a robot. It's like a power suit. It's like, imagine like a Hulkbuster, right?
No. Hard suit's more like Iron Man, and then the Gantz mech is more like a Hulkbuster. Yeah, like that. Like Iron Man's inside. Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
So, would you keep going until you get the Gantz mech, or do you just be like, Z gun, that's enough for me?
I'll keep going until beyond Z. I'll go beyond Gans mech. Like, I'll go beyond. Keep going over and over and over and over and over and over.
We never even got to see what's after Gantz mech. I wonder if it's gonna be like an airplane or some shit.
What kind of fucking stupid question is that? Have you never watched Gurren Lagann before? It's a robot. So you got a suit, and then a hard suit, and then a robot. What's the next step? Of course, a bigger robot that the robot rides on. What's after that? Well, with a bigger robot. Like, what do you think?
So is this gonna keep?
Watch Gurren Lagann, people.
It's gonna keep getting more ridiculous after that.
Oh yeah. Next time I'll call myself the Emperor or something. For the Emperor.
Okay. Yeah. So when Gans score them, then the hunters are free to leave, and they get to go back to their lives, doing whatever they were doing before. Act like nothing happened. Right?
Nothing happened.
And then after a while, they hear like a weird ringing noise in their head. That's when they get transferred back into the room for the next mission.
So the question is, did they hear the ringing in their head or they felt it?
I think.
Because I remember something along the line that, like, before the transfer happened, like like an hour or something before, they have this, what do you call it? Like, in the manga at least, the depiction was that they felt like something running up their spine.
Oh, okay. So maybe it's more of a feeling then. Yeah, because it's a ringing noise if they try to exit the area, and then... the hunting area. Otherwise their head will explode. But I guess when they get transferred back for the next mission, it's more like a feeling. What else? Oh, if they talk about Gantz to anyone not involved, they will die.
Yeah, but I think it's only strictly talking, right? If you write about it, it should be fine.
As long as people don't take you seriously, is what the manga said, then you will be okay.
So because in the manga, one of the characters, Nishi, wrote a website, made a website and made a description of Gantz, and a lot of people seems to watched it, went to the website, right?
But that's more of like a conspiracy theory website than.
I see. An actual. Do you think that nobody actually believe? You know what I mean?
Oh, I also think that he said that the website is very hard to find. Like you can't find it on searching.
Oh.
So it's like hidden away. So this process of doing missions, killing aliens, risking your life will be repeated until you get 100 points. So that's basically the premise of Gantz. So if we were in the Gantz world, how well do you think we would do?
It depends if I could survive the first night. I think if I could survive the first night, I'd be doing pretty well. The first night is like the hardest part for me, honestly,
Right.
because I don't understand, I don't believe, and I'm like, what am I gonna do? Like, is this real? Like, I just died and I got sent to this thing, told me to kill this thing, and people around me are dead. Like, cause if I'm not the first one to die, I think I'll do just fine.
I see.
Because if, probably, I don't know, but for me, because like, if that were to happen, I get transferred somewhere, I'll be like, wait, I know this place. I can go home. Like, I would go
I
home.
see. Even if you exit the area and you hear like this weird ringing noise in your head, you'd be like, whatever.
Because I might. I'd be like, huh? Because I don't know it coming from my head, right? I hear it, but I don't know where it's from, right? So it might be just a noise, like somebody probably drop a phone on a bush somewhere. I don't know that, right? I'd probably just ignore it and walk by. But I'd probably be wary enough that I probably won't be the first one to go that far. Probably if somebody else's head exploded, that will be like, maybe go like, oh. Like that's when the red flags start waving, and I'll be like, okay, I shouldn't go that way,
What about the black suits? Would you put that on right away, or would you carry it with you, or?
If it has my name, I definitely like carry it with me.
Mm-hmm.
And like the guns too, I'd probably bring like one gun or two. Just I'll take the chance. Like what's there to lose, right? It has your name and everything, so.
But like all these things kind of look like toys, so you're just gonna bring them with you?
Hell yeah, it's a cool toy. Who doesn't want it? It's a free cool toy.
I
Though I might actually shoot myself in the face though, because I would be like, looking at it, I'm like, whoa, it opens up and I'm like, that is cool. Like I would just like exploded.
That's
like
true.
I could see that happening.
Ooh, I forgot to mention. When you have the Gantz suit on, you're more or less protected from friendly fire.
Only for like 1 or 2 shots though, I think, because I think the guns actually took the damage.
But at least you're protected from the gun blast.
But knowing me, I probably won't put that suit on like on the first time.
Uh-huh.
Well, I mean.
Well, for me, I would definitely carry the suitcase.
But like I would probably put it on, and I would definitely play with the gun more than the suit, unless on the first, like when we're in the room.
Yeah.
Somebody show us like the super strength and whatever. I'm like, oh shit, can I do that too? Like I would probably put it on and like start doing crazy shit with the suit. I'm like, wow, this shit is awesome. Like I would get there. But if nobody showed it to me, I'll probably be like, why would a guy wear any suits like that? I'll be like that.
Okay, so here's 2 questions for you. First one is, if you see a bunch of people with the suits on and they say, hey dude, you have to wear this or else you're gonna die, and you need to bring these weapons with you too, would you follow them?
I'll take it. Like as in like I would take the weapon just to be safe, but will I follow them? No.
I see.
Like, because I mean, it has my name and everything. I'll probably hold it with me and be like, hey, what the fuck's happening? And then I'd probably follow that dude, like those guys.
Yeah.
From like far away.
Like just to see what's up?
Yeah. Like I would like be hiding and whatnot. But then usually if it's in the manga world, the alien would be behind me and slash me to pieces.
So you'll be the first one to die.
Pretty much.
I see.
I could see that happen.
And then the second scenario, which is, what if nobody tells you what to do? However, you yourself notices that there's a few people there in the room that's wearing the black suit.
I would know nothing at all. I would be like looking at them like, are there like a group of like, people doing something? I don't know. Like maybe it's like some sort of new uniform.
I see. So you think it's like their cosplay or something?
Yeah, I wouldn't say cosplay. Like they're probably doing something. It'll be like I don't know, probably sports or whatever. Whatever they're doing, they're doing it together. Okay.
But then you find the suitcase with your name on it, you open it up, and it's the exact same suit as them. That wouldn't be suspicious to you.
Well, if I open it and see what that, I'll be like, I would ask them, yo, dude, what is this suits like?
And what if they don't respond?
If they're just like, respond, I'm like, okay, well, it's mine. I'll just hold it. Has my name on it, so it's mine, right?
And then for people wondering, like, oh, why won't these people try to help others? Well, the whole point of this, like, game is to get 100 points so they can escape, right? They don't really care about other people. If anything, the other people are gonna weigh them down.
Yeah, so sometimes they could even use these people as a decoy. Yeah.
Is that what you do? Use people who don't know about the game as bait?
I would tell them, but if they're an asshole, I'll use them as a decoy easily.
So you would be like,
I'll extend a hand. I will extend a hand. If they spat on it or like slap it away, I'm like, okay.
So you wouldn't try very hard to convince people of what to do?
Oh, no, not very hard. Like I would try. I would do it once. That's it. You don't listen, that's your death.
I see. For me, I would probably carry the suit and maybe some weapons with me. I definitely wouldn't leave the area though.
Why not?
I think I'll be too scared. I'll be like, what the fuck is going on?
But you know the area though. Let's just say downtown. You're like, oh, I just went drinking with my friends here last week.
Yeah, but I think I'd be too freaked out, especially if I noticed that people were wearing the black suits and exactly the same suit as the one in the case with my name on it. I'd be too freaked out about it.
Well, what would you be freaked out about?
I think I'm just more I'm more paranoid than you, I think, is what it comes down to.
I guess. Then what if you start seeing people, just walking by and whatnot?
Oh, yeah.
I think that one would freak me out more. I was like, hey, hello. Like, nobody was responding, and like, I would touch them, they would be like, well, what the hell? Like, they would respond that way. I would probably do a little bit of a, like a prank here and there, see how well I actually, like, disappear. Yeah.
So, wait, when Gans send people on missions, they're invisible to people outside.
Yeah, the wording is that they're in a different frequency.
Right. The regular humans can't see them, but they can still be physically affected by them.
So if you touch someone when they're like walking, like you tap someone on the shoulder, they'll be like, somebody just tapped my shoulder, but nobody's there.
Yeah, exactly. For me, I think I would be too worried about what the heck is happening to me than to bother with those people.
Well, for me, because like I would be having like all this stuff, right? And there's these people wearing black suits and whatever. I'll be like, most of the time, like probably I could tell that I don't know where I am, and my phone won't have any reception too, right? Because I'm in a different frequency.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
So I probably have to ask someone, excuse me, where are we right now? Like where am I right now? Do you know this place? How can I get to the nearest SkyTrain station or something like that? I would ask.
I see.
If they don't respond, I'll be like, really? I'll ask the other guy. None of them respond. I'll be like, wait. I would like start tapping people, start doing stuff.
So you wouldn't be like, hey, fucker, listen to me and start punching them.
Oh, no, not punching. Like, they don't have obligation to help.
I see.
But if all of them, like, legitimately, like what? I'll be like, oh, ho, ho.
And then now, okay, let's talk about the characters now. We'll just go over the major characters. Wait, so first one is Corono. Yeah, so he's kind of like the leader of the group.
We're just gonna go with that right away?
Well, his character arc is kind of weird, because he goes through...
Because he's the main character. He go from, what, like asshole to arrogance to awesome leader.
First, he didn't give a crap about no one else.
Anything.
Didn't want to help people at all. Then his second phase is he becomes more arrogant because of the suit, gives him super strength. He becomes more cocky.
Yeah, start killing things and start, don't worry about like teamwork and stuff. Just like, nah, I can kill them. I can do this.
After that, he realizes that like this is not the way to go about things. Actually, his character is kind of a sad story. Like his parents doesn't give a shit about him. His brother doesn't give a shit about him.
Well, his brother kind of does.
It kind of does, right? But
because because I think from his brother point of view, Kay has always been like this kid, like a brave kid too, right? Always been the thing. But other than that, he's just like not so bright child kind of thing.
I think his younger brother admires him for being the older brother.
Oh, just for being the older brother?
I think so. Like kind of like that respect that you have for a brother. Even though you might not have the best relationship, it's still a sibling relationship.
Because like I think what it is that because the parent kind of like treat that Corono doesn't exist. Well, it does, but it's just like underestimating him very like much, right? And the younger brother is clearly the better son, so to speak.
Yeah.
As in like he's smarter, he's better looking, he's more athletic, like stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's one of the reasons why Corono K was different from how he was when younger.
Yeah.
Because everybody kept comparing him to his younger brother.
I see.
But at the same time, the younger brother, even though at one point he'd be like, screw my older brother, he sucks kind of thing.
Yeah.
He still have the respect, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
He still has like, well, he's my brother, he's still my family kind of thing.
In the beginning, you can kind of see how Kay can be an asshole later on. Because of his upbringing, essentially, his family. But he does evolve into a pretty cool character by the end of the story.
Oh, yeah.
And I really dig his relationship with...
Kato.
Kato was the one who changed Kay to be a better person.
Their relationship is very interesting because Kato has always been portrayed as a cowardice character. He's always like afraid and always like pondering about stuff. But then when they were younger, both Kato and Kay went to the same school, and Kay was this fearless kid that just do all this crazy stuff, fighting the bullies, running away, and like the crazy stuff. That kind of inspired Kato to be braver. Yeah. And then that's how he's been living. Like, he's trying to be braver. He's trying to be more... That's the reason why Kato helps the drunk man that fell off the rail track. Yeah. And, but the K now, after the exposure of, like, the disapproval of family, like, everybody just, like, treating him like trash, changes to be, like, an asshole, right? And then now he see Kato, who was admiring himself when he was younger, that inspired himself to be like what he used to be. I think that's what these two relationship are, that kind of like insanely well written, I think.
Yeah, it's kind of like a yin-yang kind of thing, right? Where they inspire each other.
The fact that the K was like admiring Kato, who's admiring K, because that's what it is, right? Because they were admiring each other's and like getting pushed by their behavior and action.
Yeah, but I do think that Kato doesn't receive as much character development.
Because I think his character was already set in the sense that he was a coward that decides to be brave, and I think that's all there needs to be. While Kei's character is more complex in the sense that he was a brave kid that went down and trying to fix it, but instead of going the right way, he got it over his head. So
towards the middle end-ish, they make it so that Kato doesn't want to die because he wants to come back home to his little brother. Yeah, so I guess that's kind of his motivation to staying alive, whereas Kei's motivation to stay alive is for another person.
In the beginning, not so much though.
Yeah, in the beginning, he just didn't care. He was just like, yeah, I'm a badass, so I do whatever
exactly.
I want.
Like, he's there for the thrill. Well, thrill is probably a bad word. He's there to prove himself, so to speak, that he could also be good. Like, he also can do all this thing. Though at the second half, he's gonna be like, oh yeah, I could be better than people. Like, this is where I belong. Like, I am better than everyone. That's why he get arrogant, right?
Yeah, I think so. Because in real life, he's just kind of like a loser at school. No one really pays attention.
Yeah, because everybody was like calling him Daylight Lantern, right?
Yeah, because he's like, there's no point in a lantern being lit during the daytime. The next character I want to talk about is Tai Kojima. She doesn't have a very big role, but she does...
No, she's there for Kei, that's it.
Yeah.
She doesn't develop character, but she's there for Kei. The only reason why Kei do anything is because of her.
Oh yeah. Like, I did find her character annoying at the end because all she just said was Kei-chan, Kei-chan.
And at the end, yes. Well, for me, it's not what she said. It's just that, I mean, it's great that she has her own journey. Like, her hardship, instead of just being a captive in a Bowser Island, Bowser Castle and stuff like that. You know what I mean? She actually goes on her adventure trying to survive, right? Never giving up and whatnot. But what kind of like irked me up a little bit is that it's the fact that there's too much of that. There's too much of Kei and Tai, while there's a lot more is happening in the place.
Well, in my opinion, yeah, even though it is a little too much, I agree with you. I'd still root for them for the relationship, for them to come back together and be together at the end.
Me, I kind of like Reika.
Oh, Reika, yeah. So Reika is like an actress, model, singer, dancer.
Like best hit right now kind of thing.
Yeah, like the most famous person in Japan. But she ends up liking Kei because Kei at that point was already starting to become more leader-like and it's like trying to save people. So she falls in love with that Kei. I do like her character because other female characters that's been shown...
Very passive.
Yeah, very passive.
Very assertive.
Yeah, exactly. So she actually does stuff in the manga. She kills aliens and isn't afraid to get her hands dirty.
Or face.
Yeah, because of the blood splattering.
She got blood like...
These characters I kind of find weird. I think it's... I don't know how to say this. I find them really odd. So Sakurai and Sakata. The two people with ESP. So why do they have telekinetic powers? I have no idea. The author just decided, fuck it, I just want people with cool abilities for some reason.
For me, I don't know why they're there either. Because they're... I don't know. I really don't know. Because I get the feeling they're supposed to have an arc of their own.
They kind of do. They kind of do.
No, like a bigger arc. As like they're supposed to be something. Because for me, what I'm thinking is...
Yeah.
ESP guys have an arc before the finale arc, which is the vampire. Originally, I think has something like a big role, like they have to do something more. But because of the way the story had a hiatus, like long enough, like 2 years hiatus or something like that, and probably that's where the story progress changes.
Yeah,
and that's where everybody just went, you know what, fuck it, let's go this way. So they could scrap a lot of ideas that they could have used.
I think the author just probably got bored with Gantz, maybe, and this is why it felt rushed even towards the end.
But I got a feeling it got extended. It got forcefully extended.
So he wanted to end it earlier.
Yeah, like I think he wanted to end it on the vampire. That's what it feels like. Because it was built up as the rival hunter, right? Like there's really strong people that know how to fight, and then like they would be able to fight each other. Like it's built up as that.
Yeah.
So I was just like, I think that was where it's supposed to go. Yeah, what I'm thinking is that because of the vampire arc, what my guess is, my theory, is that there's supposed to be a vampire arc, and they would be like fighting each other and whatnot, and turned out there's a bigger, badder something coming to the them, and they have to work together. And the reason why they work together was that because, one of them got made as a part of the the Tokyo, one of the vampire, the host guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, as part of the Guns, right? Like Tokyo Guns team.
Yeah.
And they were like helping killing aliens and whatnot too. I gotta feel that's my theory.
But it didn't work out that way though, because the ESP guys and the vampire arc kind of just went nowhere.
Yeah.
I felt like
Because they just switched
Yeah.
away.
so that's really my only complaints for phase one is just that those two just kind of went into a dead end and went nowhere. And then another character we can talk about is Nishi. I do like that he's an asshole character. He just wants to do his own thing, the lone wolf. And then Nishi was there in the beginning with when Kei and Kato first arrives, but he doesn't tell anybody anything. He kind of just, only the strong will survive.
Yeah.
But he does tell them what happens when they survive the first mission because of the Darwin in him, right? Because they're strong enough to survive the first mission.
That's what you mean by Darwin.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, Paul, why did you bring Darwin down?
The strongest survives, right?
Darwinist.
Yeah. So he's like, oh, you guys survived. Okay, I'll tell you what I know then. Because you're valuable teammates, is what he thinks. Yeah.
I guess that's kind of filtering is pretty useful too, don't you think?
I don't know. Like, if you had the power to save people, would you?
Who are these people? Do they be compelled to save them?
Like pedestrians or people who don't know what's going on.
Well, that's why earlier I said, right? I will give them one warning and that's it. If they listen, good. If they don't listen, well.
What else? Oh, and Nishi, even though he's an asshole and he does his own thing or whatever, and doesn't care about nobody else, he only respects one person, Izumi.
Izumi. I don't think he respects them.
Oh yeah, he does. He for sure does. Because Izumi is the first characters that we meet that finish the game and wants back in.
But no. I don't think so because, at least from what I remember, instead of respect, he was more like elated, like, "Oh, yo, Izumi, you're back."
No, because when Izumi came back and people were trying to figure out like, oh, like Kei's dead. Who do we want as the next leader? Nishi had no problem nominating Izumi. And the second thing was that when Izumi was in trouble, Nishi was just like, oh, I'm not going to help you, peace. But he ended up calling his teammates saying like, hey, I just wanted to let you know Izumi's in trouble. You can help him if you want, right? He doesn't do that for any other characters except for Izumi.
Would that be respect though?
I think so. He definitely cares more about Izumi.
For me, I think there's a sense of camaraderie in them better because I think that's the saying, right? Because Izumi and him probably like fight together like often already, and then I think one of the reasons why Nishi got to be that good is because he saw Izumi doing stuff, right?
Yeah. So Izumi and Nishi used to be teammates before Izumi got out of the game, but then he realizes that without the game, he's bored of real life. Now, here's the thing about Izumi though, that even though he died, he kind of deserved it. Well, not kind of. He did deserve it. About halfway into phase one, Gantz realizes that there were too many incompetent hunters.
Well, there's no instruction, really. Make like a video tutorial or something.
Right. You would think so, right? But then he sent Izumi on a mission to gather more hunters. Now, only way for Gantz to bring people into the room is if they're dead. So Izumi went on a massacre in Shinjuku, right? It worked. Gantz got what he wanted, but it was a terrible event where 300 people died or something like that. He just mowed people down like they're nothing, which is how Reika got in there. Now, here's the thing about Izumi, is that he disguised himself when he did the massacre. So he made himself into like a...
Black dude.
he did blackface. Yeah.
Yeah,
but here's the thing. No one found out that he was the one killing people, which is kind of strange.
How so?
I don't know. You would think that people would like, oh, he kind of looks familiar. Same stature, same voice.
But he died, right?
Yeah. So I guess... But then the other fishy part was, remember when Nishi called someone for help? That was actually Sakurai, right? So the ESP guy. And then the ESP guy called his friend, Sakata. He's like, hey, Izumi is in trouble. Should we help him? And Sakata was like, yeah, he's like, no. In case you haven't noticed, that was the guy who killed us in the Shinjuku massacre. Yeah. Let him die. He deserves it. So he knows, those two characters know now, but they don't say anything to no one else. Like, what the heck?
Their head's gonna explode.
They can tell the other people who died in that room, like Reika.
For what though?
Oh, that's true. There's no point.
What's the point in that? So they've killed each other? That's counterproductive now, isn't it?
In the end, he got what he deserved.
How did he do again?
Vampires.
What happened to him? I don't remember.
So vampires aren't aliens. They're just kind of like...
Earthling that's morphed.
Yeah, like, how can I say, like, infected humans kind of thing. Yeah. These vampires have a working relationship with the aliens. Kind of like contract workers, I think. They end up taking pictures of Izumi so they know that he's out there trying to kill the aliens, and eventually they found out where he is and where he lived or something, and they ended up tracking him down and killing him. Right. Yeah, because in the end it was just too many, right? He was just one person versus like hundreds of vampires.
Yeah, but he killed a lot though.
Yeah, he's a very strong fighter. I mean, he beat the game, right? Okay, now we can talk about the aliens. Right. There's a bunch of aliens in this first part. Do you do you remember which one stood out the most to you?
The aliens?
Mm-hmm.
That stood out the most for me?
Yeah.
In what way, though? Just anything?
Yeah. Any memorable moments about the aliens for you? Like the designs. What do you think of the aliens' designs?
Like the first part or the later half? Because the first part, it's clearly they're trying to make it wacky, right?
Yeah.
Like Onion, like Tanaka.
Yeah.
Like it's clearly a wacky, stupid build up and creepy too, right?
Yeah. They're clearly aliens. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like they're trying to make alien that's like disguising as human, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's clearly unnatural, like the unnatural being that's just disguised so you can tell. But because it's so obvious that they're not human, it's very creepy. You know what I mean?
I think the author did do something interesting, which was that some of the statues in real life were actually aliens. Yeah, so like they get transferred into a Buddhist temple. All those Buddha statues were aliens.
See, I think because I don't know. For me, like the theory for me with Gans is that not all of them are aliens.
Mm-hmm.
Like some stuff are what Gans made. You know what I mean?
Oh, so you're saying Gantz made them, so they had to kill them.
Exactly. It's as like a training program kind of.
I see.
Because like for me, like at least the first two alien, like Tanaka and the Onion,
Yeah.
they're human-like, right, shape-wise.
Yeah.
When they get to the stone, they're just rocks, but it has a flesh. It's really weird.
Which alien design did you like the most in Phase 1? You remember? I think the onion boy and onion dad.
No, for me, they're just pitiful because they're pretty much begging for like, stop, please stop, or like, why did you kill my kid? And then
It's so iconic for me. It's like so vivid in my mind.
wait, how far is Phase 1? What are they?
Okay, so I'll just quickly go through the aliens that appear. So the onion aliens, the boy and the dad. Tanaka alien, which is a robot, but inside the robot is actually a bird alien. And then the Buddhist temple aliens. And then the aliens after that, they're called shorty aliens, but they look like lemon people with wings.
Yeah.
The dinosaur aliens, which when they got transferred to the museum, all the dinosaurs there. This one is weird. It's called Ring Alien, and I guess it's kind of like a centaur.
I don't remember the ring alien.
Yeah, it happened pretty fast. And then the next alien after that is the Oni alien.
He is.
So I think it's like the doubles in business suits, I guess. That arc wasn't all that memorable either, but it's I think it made an impact because of the previous arc before that.
Yeah.
Which was the Kill Tai Kojima arc. Yeah, so in that arc, basically, Tai Kojima somehow took a picture of the Gantz hunters. So then Gantz was just like, okay, well, now we need to kill this person before she spreads the news out, right? And makes her the next target. And Kay was already dating her at that point.
Was that actually the reason, though?
Supposedly, that was the reason.
The thing is, like, Reika deleted the picture, right?
Yeah, Reika found the camera, destroyed it, but they didn't end the mission.
It's just not over.
It seems to me like Gantz maybe is a petty person or something like that. But despite Kay's best efforts, Kojima actually did die, but her data is inside Gantz's database.
So, question though. Does Gans recorded the aliens too?
I don't think so. The reason why I say that is because Gantz...
Because she's not a hunter, right?
Yeah.
She's considered as an alien, right? Because she's called Kojima alien or something?
No. All the other ones have aliens in their name, but not Tai Kojima. Tai is just Tai Kojima. So I think Gantz would gladly revive any humans, but he wouldn't revive any aliens. To be honest though, when she died, I thought she's gonna get revived into the room as a hunter. Yeah, and then it'll be like Kay's thing to save her or something.
I mean, that would probably be good. Like, I don't know. Kind of got a feeling like she shouldn't know about it.
Yeah, well, she's not supposed to. No one's supposed to know about it. I think her role in the manga is good enough as it is, despite the fact that I find her annoying towards the end. Yeah, still good enough. I think the next impactful arc after that one. Here's the thing: is that the shorty alien arc, the lemon people with wings.
Yeah.
This is an interesting arc because this is the first arc where Kay is sent by himself, no other people, and after the mission was over, he lost all his points because the time was up. He didn't kill everyone, but this alien hunted Kay down in his school.
Came to the real world and started.
Yeah, that was the first time that happened, and he straight up went up to Kay and be like, "Why are you killing us? We're just here to live in peace, and because you started this fight, I'm gonna finish it. Like, you killed my friends, I'm gonna kill everybody you know." After that arc though, they kind of dropped that narrative.
That's what I mean. That's, I think, where the whole things happen.
Yeah, like the whole aliens that are immigrants, they just want to live in peace. and then Gantz is sending on them to kill them. They dropped that narrative.
Exactly. And they change it to something else. That's the shift that makes me go like, what?
That was an interesting concept, I thought, because
Yeah.
you know, I never really questioned why they were killing the aliens. I thought they're just
For me, it's the other way around. The moment the onion alien was like saying, "I'll give you my onion," I'm like,
oh, so you thought like something's fishy.
oh yeah, definitely by that moment. The kid was not trying to fight. The whole time he was trying to run away, trying to survive, right? Like these scary people are chasing after him, so
Yeah.
he got scared. And these people trying to finish, like, trying to hurt him, so retaliate, right?
Yeah.
For me, it's a very normal behavior. Like, I don't think the alien was at fault this moment. And when the father came up too, got really pissed. I'm like, oh my god, this asshole just killed your kid? I would have fucking ripped this guy's apart too. Like, nothing. Like, at this moment, I already know that bad guys are people. Even when the kid started, like, yeah, Kay did, right?
Yeah.
The dad alien.
Yeah.
The power suit. And then the dad was like, I'll give you my onion, right?
Yeah.
Now the dad was like broken. He couldn't avenge his kid, and
He's gonna die.
like, I'm like, shit. Like, that's why, like, by that moment, I'm like, wow, this is messed up. Like, I didn't know it's a messed up manga the first time I laid my eye on it. So, that's the thing. But that's the messed up part that I really like about it. Even when they bring that whole thing has been happening since episode 1, so to speak, right?
Yeah.
Even the Tanaka alien, that guy was just like, walking around listening to music, right? Did nothing. But then they started to pointing guns and blood at him and like trying to be, and that's why he started frowning, right?
Yeah.
Like, are you an enemy? Like, and then all the time and one night, like even the kid, like the baby birds and whatever, was not hostile, right? He was just like a kid.
Yeah.
But then that's still their kid, so the Tanaka aliens got pissed off, right?
Yeah.
Which makes sense, right? It's natural reaction.
It is. It is.
Yeah, and then after that, like the lemon alien too, like just here, where the fuck are you shooting us down, right? You asshole.
Yeah.
But then after that, it got cut off, and that never mean anything, right?
Well, yeah, in a way, I guess, because from there they transition into the vampire stuff,
Yeah.
where like the vampires are hunting the hunters outside of the game.
See, the thing is, like, for me, it makes sense because especially when you said like the vampires and the aliens were like having hand in hand and whatnot, right?
Yeah.
Well, it makes sense because these aliens suddenly had like this group of people that started hunting them down, right?
Yeah.
And there's a local people that's like, you know what, we'll help you.
Mhm.
Yeah. Now the aliens killing the hunter makes sense, right? Like these people just want to protect themselves.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Exactly. But then after that, it's just gone.
But here's my other question: is that, well, I guess it's not established. In the next part, is established, but
Yeah.
it's established that there are other people in the same suits, the same spear, same guns in different
part of the world.
yeah, different parts of the world. So why is it now that the aliens just started to notice it when this has been going on for I don't know how long, way before K?
As in, like, the alien that goes to, let's just say, the Tokyo area
Yeah.
are such a small community. They're immigrants. They're trying to survive, whatever it is. Either their own planet was destroyed or whatever the reason is. They're just trying to live, right?
Yeah.
So they have this small community and they try to live. So whatever happened on one other side of the world, they wouldn't know. There's no way to communicate because it's not like they can communicate between aliens, right? For example, like the onion aliens and the lemon one.
Yeah.
There's no guarantee that they can speak the same language, right?
Well, we never seen them interact.
Exactly. In their eye, might as well like they're an enemy too, right? You don't know that.
It could be.
So there's just no way to know
I guess so.
until a big group of aliens shows up, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, towards the end-ish, they start working together. I wish they pushed that narrative a bit more instead of dropping it.
For me, I wish they push it till the end.
That would have been pretty cool. Like a full-scale war between aliens and the humans.
Well, no, for me it's more of a moral question, right? Because we're killing all these up. It's for our survival or their survival, right?
Yeah. Us or them.
So the question is, if the only demerit is, losing point when time goes up,
Yeah.
do you think it would be a peaceful scenario where they just don't hunt?
No, because Gantz also reduces the size of the area too, to force people to hunt.
Yeah, but let's just say the alien, they don't fight it. They just spend the time. You know what I mean?
I think some aliens were hostile.
See.
Which, I mean...
Who though? Who attacked first? Which alien attacked first?
See, I'm trying to think. So...
Because I can't remember one.
I think starting with the dinosaur aliens, those were the guys who attacked first.
Right.
But I can see why they would, because those dinosaur aliens were kind of dinosaur-ish, and they're very territorial.
Yeah, this is what it's good. Like, I think that's territorial, right? These
Yeah.
people just walked in.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, the aliens who attack first are territorial aliens, is what I'm thinking. Like, you stepped into my area. Yeah, so I guess that's my 3 complaints. The vampires, the ESP, and the narrative of the aliens being immigrants. So that's pretty much it for Phase 1. Overall, how would you feel about Phase 1? How did you feel?
It It was good. I want to say it's a different genre almost because
Oh.
I don't know, because this is back when anime and whatever was very conservative, right? Like it's the age where usually the main character is a kid, has no power, wants to be stronger. Like the normal shonen is that.
Yeah.
That's what dominating the manga world, right?
Yeah.
And then I think it's around the same time, right, where Death Note suddenly bring like a dark tone to mangas, right? Well, anyway, this is like the early moment when like a darkness, like like these like moral questions being asked in mangas.
They stepped it up the story wise.
They step up they pump it up.
I actually did really enjoy this manga too, and I would definitely recommend it for people who want to read it. You have to. This manga is meant to be enjoyed, just like turn off your brain. So, okay, what's your overall score of this manga?
I'd give it a good 8.5.
8.5, eh? Interesting. I would go lower, not too much lower, like an 8. I would give it an 8.
It's good. I enjoyed it. Like when it happened, because it's from chapter 1 to 171.
No, it's chapters 1 to 237.
Because I blast through there.
Oh, I see.
In one sitting.
Oh, okay.
Until because I read it until the flame it was one sitting.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
After that, I had a while that I just can't read it again. And I read a little bit, and then I stop, and then I read again, stop again. Like, it's like that.
Yeah, definitely the first quarter of the series, I would say, is is very Gantz like, I would say, if that makes sense. But then the rest of the series, yeah, it's like a tonal shift almost, like the rest of the series. It's like the author just ran out of ideas or just didn't want to continue anymore or something
Or they
like
got
that.
forced to do something else that they don't want to.
Yeah, maybe. Because there's rumors saying like the only reason why he added the vampires in the first place because the editor wanted him to. It was popular at that time. Yeah, that's all I have to say about Phase 1. Anything else you'd like to add? Or
Well, honestly, I was hoping for more arsenal.
what do you mean by ours? Like more weapons?
Yeah, more weapons, like add a grenade or something, Like, I don't know, like a certain kind of whatever, technological marvel, right? That they could add more stuff.
I guess they could. I think that's it for this episode.
Right.
Okay. Alright, Bosch, do the outro.
Thanks for watching. This is Bosch here.
This is Alex.
Thank you for watching. We'll catch you guys later.
Bye.